What's up YouTube? I'm Vaughn and this is the Gear channel where we discuss collectibles, hobbies, Quebec games from tabletop to video games. And today we have a very exciting episode because we're not just reviewing one Spawn figure, we're actually reviewing two, and it's none other than the McFarlane Toys limited edition Medieval Spawn versus Malebolgia. Now I'm super excited to open this figure up and review both of them, and I was really debating if I actually did want to open it or not, but then I decided, you know what, I kind of want to review every single Spawn figure. So you know what, why not start with this, because then at least we could do some size comparison with some Todd Toys versions as well. So I'm definitely excited for doing that. Now the market price for this specific figure is not really that expensive. It's about like $40, but I have seen so many people doing like bundle deals as well that it definitely increased like that specific price. So you could actually get like quite a bit of good deals for $50, including this specific figure set as well. Now before we begin, friendly reminder as always to like and subscribe, because it really helps the channel a lot and I do really appreciate it. So with that being said, let's start opening. So here they are in their glory. Now the box looks incredible. I'm kind of a bit sad that we're going to be opening it. And yes, it is sealed. I know the tape over there definitely seen some better days, but this is a very old figure. So we're definitely going to have to be very careful opening it, because I do want to keep it like display still in the box. So we're going to figure out like tricks that we usually do for other Spawn figures, so we can still display it as is afterwards. But very excited to start opening this, so let's start cracking. And here is Malebolgia. Now he looks incredible, and I was very surprised while opening the box how much accessories we actually get with both of them. So this is a very cool figure to have. So we're going to check Malebolgia's articulation and get some close-up shots of it. So starting with the head, now it's on like a weird looking ball joint kind of vibe. So I think it's a giant ball joint, but also you could actually close the mouth and this looks so cool. So I'm actually super excited. So that's actually like hair that he actually has over here. So very cool. The arms, okay, could just turn 360. I don't think it's on a ball joint because it's not moving that much. He has a very nice elbow bend, and his arms are on a peg, so you're going to turn them like 360, which is very cool. Now if we look at the legs, now standing straight he is actually quite tall, so he's a very tall figure, especially if we check some size comparison compared to other ones as well. So if we go and look, he could actually kick forward and he does like the full bend, and then also his little toes over here. Now for his accessories, he actually comes with a very cool skull, which kind of reminds me, here I'll put it on the side so we could actually camera focus. So it actually reminds me of Violator. I don't think it's Violator, it could be, who knows, but very cool. I thought this was awesome to like have. So all the demonstration I see is like him just like holding it, so, or on the other arm. Not really sure. I always see like photo shots of him just holding it, so not doing any other gimmicks. Or maybe you could like have him eat it, like, "Rawr." There you go. Reminds me of Alien. So there you go. We have a smaller mouth and a bigger mouth, just like that. Okay, now I think it's about time we check the medieval spawn. And here is Medieval Spawn. Now I have to say, for a very old figure, he just looks incredible. All that details, the paint application, there's really no issues at all. And then he actually has quite a bit of accessory that he comes with. So this is a very cool figure to have. So starting first with the head sculpt, like look at that, that's amazing detail. So he could actually turn his head decently around 360. Sometimes the shoulders actually get in the way. Now the shoulders, okay, it actually lifts all the way up. You could actually undo them as well, so it's very easy for them to purr down or upwards. And for movement, it's very limited because of the shoulder, so that's why if you want to decide to take it off, you definitely can. And yeah, move frontwards, and you have like the hole for holding his sword or other weapons as well. So very, very cool. And look at all that details, amazing. Just all goes around perfectly. And the legs has fine, very fine articulation, because you can actually kick forward and then he has a decent bend. And the same thing over here if you want him to be like kneeling like a knight. So very, very cool. Now we're going to show you some of his accessories. So the first thing that we have is actually his chain. Now for some reason it's so sticky, and I don't know why these chains are very sticky, but yeah. So to plug it in, I'm going to just move the arm. So it should be exactly like the original one. So we put it in like this, and then we just take this and we plug it in. So that's one. Yeah, it's very sticky. I don't know why. Maybe there was like one of the tape. I know there was tape around it, so maybe the glue of that went on it. So yeah, then if we take this one, do the exact same thing, just peg it in like that if it wants to go. Uh, Giving me a bit of an issue. Come on, we almost got it. Okay. Well, that's like the best that we could do. It's not the greatest on that side, but at least it's something. Okay, now the next thing that we have is actually his cape. So we have the cape over here. So this is quite simple. All what we have to do is lift these. Like I said, these come off very easily. But usually you don't have to pull them all the way. You just have to lift them up. And then the cape, we'll just go and slide in like that, and then once it's slide in, you could just press down, and there you go. Looks very cool. I like it a lot. He just looks awesome. Look at that with the cape. The next accessory that we have that's very cool is actually his shield. So very cool. You can't really have him holding like both, so this one does a part that you could, and also it spins 360, which I thought was really cool. So for him to hold it on this hand, you just have to put it like this, and yeah, pretty much it. That's the best for him to hold it. And then finally for his sword that we have over here, so a really cool detail. Let me just put him down. This I thought was awesome. So for him to hold that is very simple. You just go and plug it in, and there you go. He has his weapon. Now let's take a 360 shot of it. And here he is, Medieval Spawn in all his glory with all his accessories, and he just looks amazing. There's really no complaints I have with this figure, so both of them just look incredible. Now I think it's about time we check some size comparison of both. Here is Malebolgia with Medieval Spawn. As you can clearly see, there is a big size difference. Now we're going to see how they scare compared to other McFarlane toys. Here he is next to Throne Spawn, and honestly, I kind of like the size comparison, especially with the Malebolgia versus the Throne Spawn. I think that's a decent size. Here he is next to Overkill. And finally, for what you guys were waiting for, here he is next to Violator. Now, as you can clearly see, Malebolgia definitely surpasses the size of Violator, and I actually had to stand Violator up completely straight, and he still was no match for Malebolgia, which kind of got me curious to see if Todd McFarlane ever decides to make another Malebolgia. It must be like the most biggest figure he'll ever create for like today's standards. So super excited to see if he decides to do one. That would be really cool. And that's it for our review of Medieval Spawn versus Malebolgia. Now, if you guys enjoyed today's video, you know what to do. Like and subscribe. And if you want a sneak peek of future products we're planning to review here on the channel, you can follow me on my Instagram, VaughnGear. I'm Vaughn, and this was the Gear Channel.